Hello, everyone. It's Chat with Matt. We're glad to have all of you join us. We appreciate you subscribing. And for those of you that are new to what we do, welcome, welcome, welcome. Nadeem, happy Father's Day, sir.
Hey, happy Father's Day. Yeah, happy Father's Day to everybody out there who's watching this. Mac, do you remember a while back, I think when Windows 11 first came out, we talked about how Teams is going to be built into Windows.
Yes, we did.
And there wasn't a lot of good direction on, how that's going to work. What is it going to entail? Because before then, we knew about Teams that is a paid version, which comes with the Microsoft 365 subscription.
Right.
And then we knew about the Teams where it used to be Teams free version that Microsoft just had come out after the pandemic hit, and they came out with a free version of Microsoft Teams.
Yep.
So now the next update of Windows that's going to come out, and it's in beta already. So that Microsoft is going to remove Teams from within Windows. So it's
really,
yeah. So it's really interesting, because here's the problem. So we deploy a lot of Windows machines. I mean,
Yep.
we deploy, across multiple customers. We deploy a lot of Windows machines.
Yeah.
I have yet to have one deployment where a customer requirement was to leave the Microsoft Teams that comes with Windows installed. We always remove it. We have to manually go in there, remove it. If a group policy does not remove the built-in Teams app, we have to manually remove it. And if one of our techs doesn't manually remove it, then of course our ticket comes in. Hey, I've got two Teams on my machine. The paid and the built-in, and of course, that was a problem. So the good thing is Microsoft is listening. Microsoft is listening to enterprise. Microsoft is listening to partners, and they are making this change where Teams is not going to be built into Windows anymore. You can still install the free version of Teams, but Microsoft is not going to shove it down everybody's throat. Great news.
So you're. It seems like you're happy with that. I find that really interesting, considering. Well, maybe I'm wrong in the number of people that use Teams on a day-by-day basis. I don't know. I would. Maybe I'm having a little different vision with it, because I would have felt like it should be, but
there was a difference. Now, here's the thing. The version of Teams that comes built into Windows was it was called Teams. It might as well have been called something else. It was called Teams, but it was not the same Teams that you use on the paid Microsoft 365 version.
I understand. Okay.
So there was a naming snafu, which Microsoft has never been good at naming things, and it was one of their, they have this, I guess there's a bunch of people in a dark room somewhere where all they have to do is come up with names, and they just, every time they just screw up names. So the Teams that was built into Windows was not the same Teams that 99% of the people use out in the field. That's why we had to remove the built-in version of Teams, install the production, the paid version of Teams for every client that we have. I don't know of a single instance where we left the built-in Teams client installed in Microsoft Windows.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. So we are happy. That will be less issues that we have to work through on newer machines. Now, keep in mind, right now the version that's shipping with new machines is still the version that has the Teams app built in. But going forward, future versions will not have it built in. You can still install it. I mean, it's just an app. You can still install the free version of Teams if you want. If anybody uses it, which I don't know of anybody who uses it, but if you do, you can still install it. But it's not going to be forced on you, which is great. So that's going to make deployments better, and one less thing to do for deployments. Now, of course, we control this via policy at pretty much every client that we have. But the problem is sometimes, there are still issues that can happen, for some reason, policies not being applied right or something happening, and then we have to do some manual intervention. It's just more stuff to break. Don't force it down people's throats, and let people install it if they need it, right? Give everybody the option. So that's good for us. That's going to save some frustration, I know, with our techs,
Yeah.
and some frustration, for example, with some of the customers, where a lot of times customers don't even domain join machines anymore, because we can pretty much, with our RMM tool, we can pretty much control a lot of the aspects of a machine. And it may be a machine that a customer buys, for example, directly from Dell and ships it directly to the user. And then once the user gets the machine, they just reach out to us, hey, I want to get so-and-so machine set up. Well, now that machine is outside of our control as far as autopilot or any of those technologies go. So we cannot pre-configure that machine with certain settings or software. And if Teams is built in there, now we have to figure out a way to remove that Teams. So it's going to save people time. It's going to make things simpler, the way it should be. So if you are in the group where you hate the built-in Teams, chat, whatever you want to call that app in Windows, it is going to go away. It's going to make your life a little bit easier.
Okay. That makes sense. I was just wondering, as far, and this might be a little bit away from what we're talking about, but were there some standout feature differences between the free version of Teams and the one that comes, for the paid version? I'm pretty sure, but I'm just curious.
Microsoft is not saying this, but here's why I think they're removing this feature. Because Microsoft gets a lot of telemetry data from Windows in the field. So a lot of data goes back into Microsoft, where they can see what apps people are using. And I don't think a lot of people were using the built-in Teams app in Windows.
Oh,
because most enterprises out there, they have either Office 365, Microsoft 365, some version of that where they already had access to the paid version of Teams. And if they did not, they had the free version of Teams. They were already subscribed to the free version of Teams. So why would they want to deal with this another app that comes built into Windows? And it was always causing a problem, because here was the other problem. There was a Teams that comes with Windows, and then if you install the paid version of Teams that comes with your Microsoft 365 license, it left the built-in version of Teams on the machine. So now when you boot up into a machine, you got two Teams running down there. So you need to figure out which Teams is which. It was always a painful experience. So yeah, I don't think anybody that I know of is going to miss Teams. I know I'm not going to miss Teams that came built into Windows, and we are a heavy Teams user. I mean, we've been using Teams back when it first came out, and we use it. I think in a day we use Teams for more than 8 hours a day per person. There's easily a lot of Teams usage here.
Yeah.
So we are happy to see the built-in Teams go away, because that wasn't really Teams. It was a totally different app. Microsoft decided they were going to call it Teams, but it really wasn't Teams.
It wasn't Teams. Gotcha. Understood.
So hopefully that is some good news on Father's Day for everybody. And now, one of the other things that I'm going to do is next week I'm going to be making more videos around applications and usability of applications. So I'm going to move a little bit away next week from business side of videos that we make, and I'm going to make a little bit about users who use applications every day. So look out for those videos.
Nice.
It's going to be a good week. I'm going to try to get at least 3 videos out next week. So hopefully I can stay on schedule on that. And other than that, everybody have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
You guys have a good one.